Let's talk about transversal. If a line intersects two or more different lines at distinct points, it's important that two or more lines at distinct points. It's very important. Like in this figure, you have line L and line M. These two lines are being intersected by this third line N. So this line N is intersecting two lines at two distinct points. That's why this point is very important. And why is it important? Let me show you here. We have one line, two line, three line, and four line. Let's name it as P, Q, R, and S. And let this line be line L. So line L is intersecting how many lines? 1, 2, 3, and 4 lines at 4 distinct points, right? There are 4 different distinct points. But in this case, you can see that, let me show you like this. If this is one line, then it is intersecting all the other lines, like this is line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, and line 5. So these 5 lines are being intersected, and line 6. These 6 lines are being intersected by this line, let us name as L. So 6 lines are being intersected by this line L, but not at distinct points, but at a common point that lies here. But in this case, one line is intersecting 4 lines at distinct points. So this is transversal, but this is not. So that was the importance of this distinct points. So in this figure, this is the transversal line. Now, let's talk some important points related to transversals. Let's start with angles made by transversal. That's really very important. And the first point is, and this one is, interior angles. Now, interior angles in this figure, where transversal line is intersecting line L and line M, are this angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, and angle 6. So what's the main thing is, they all lie within the two, between the two lines, 3, 4, 5, and 6. They are interior to these two lines. So angles 3, 4, 5, and 6, these all are interior angles. Then we have exterior angles. So like in interior angles, we had these angles that were lying in between these two lines, that is, they were interior to these two lines. In this case, exterior angles will be angle 1, angle 2, angle 7, and angle 8, that are lying outside these two lines. So 1, 2, 3, and angle 4. Sorry, 1, 2, angle 7, and angle 8. These all are exterior angles. Next is pairs of corresponding angles. Pairs of corresponding angles. Now in this case, pairs of corresponding angles will be, first focus on this one, angle 1 and angle 5. Angle 1 and angle 5. So angle 1 and angle 5. Then angle 2, angle 2, Let me take with some different color. So in this case, angle 1 and angle 5, then angle 2 and angle 6, angle 2 and angle 6, then angle 3 and angle 7, angle 3 and angle 7, then angle 4 and angle 8, angle 4 and angle 8. These different pairs of angles are pairs of corresponding angles, where the term corresponding actually refers to those angles which are corresponding, either they are upside or downside, right or left to these, lines, these three lines. Like 1 and 5 are pairs of corresponding angles. So 1 and 5 are actually, angle 1 is to the upside of this line L, angle 5 is to the upside of line M. So these are pairs and they all are lying towards the right of this line, right? Now, angle 2 and angle 6, these two angles are corresponding, corresponding to these two lines are towards the upside, like 2 is upside to L, 6 is also towards the upward direction, in upward direction, and both these two angles are actually towards the right of this line. So this and this are corresponding angles, and this are pair of corresponding angles. In the same way, angle 3 and angle 7 are towards the downward direction to this line L, and same thing, angle 7 is towards the downward direction to this one, and both angle 7 and angle 3 are actually towards the left of this line. So these are corresponding, and same thing is for angle 4 and angle 8. Both are below this line L and M, and they are towards the right of this line. Therefore, they are corresponding in terms of this line and this line. Upside, downside, right, left and right. Then next is pairs of alternate interior angles. This line is very important, alternate. Now, just some time back only we discussed about interior angles, that was angle 3 and angle 5, but in this case we have to find alternate interior angles, and alternate interior angles will be angle 3 and angle 6. So angle 3 and angle 6, and then angle 5 and angle 4, angle 5 and angle 4. These two pairs of angles are pairs of alternate interior angles. Next is pairs of alternate exterior angles. So if this is one exterior angle and this is another, they are just like in the case of alternate interior, angle 1 and angle 8 are pair of alternate exterior angles. Similarly, angle 2 and angle 7, both these are exterior but they are alternate to each other. Therefore, angle 2 and angle 7, these two pairs are pairs of alternate exterior angles. Then comes pairs of interior angles on the same side of transversal. So the point is pairs of interior angles on the same side of transversal. This is transversal. Let me highlight this. This is transversal and it's saying same side of transversal and pairs of interior angles. So in this case, angle 3 and angle 5, these are one pair of interior angles on the same side of transversal. These two interior angles are on the same side of transversal. So angle 3 and angle 5, and then comes the number of angle 4 and angle 6, pairs of interior angles on the same side of transversal, on the same side, it is on towards the right side. So angle 4 and angle 6. These are pairs of interior angles on the same side of transversal. So this was all about transversal, and in the next video we'll discuss about transversal of parallel lines.